Once they called him the future.
This may be the best superstar in the making.
Now they call him the champion. You're listening to the Jason Ellis Show.
In an incident that is for some reason shrouded in mystery, police in northern England, I think yesterday,
Have a suntan.
and nobody could possibly explain why.
I'm just saying, that'd be impossible to explain. That place sucks.
They shut down a freeway to conduct what is known as a fingertip search of the road for a penis of a man who was found distressed and missing his penis. And they refused to say...
Hello, Governor. Have you found my penis?
Pretty much.
On the freeway?
They refused to say how he... It was right by a rest area. How he lost it, or if they found it. But they closed down the highway, and a bunch of English policemen basically got down on their hands and knees and looked for a man's dick.
Sounds like a bad case of English glory hole gone bad.
You feel like a woman would possibly be involved with this. Hey, Rob Dyrdek.
How do you segue to Rob Dyrdek? It's got nothing to do with frozen dicks in England.
All I'm thinking about is like, man, it just happens like every 5 to 10 years, a man gets his penis cut off and it's news. You know?
Yeah, I think that's... It's like, okay, now that does make sense. The Millennium Dick Cutter. Is this guy going to get it glued on? Because if he doesn't get it glued on, then he can't have a porn career.
He is in a medically induced coma, and like I said, the police refuse...
He's on ice until they find his wiener?
They can neither confirm nor deny that they may have found his
I would actually
sewn on, and he gets famous and rich for it.
I would demand to the hospital, you put me on ice until you find my dick, because I cannot live in a world where I do not have my dick. Just shut it off. If you don't find it, if you don't find a robot way to fucking put something else on there, don't bother waking me. Just switch it off.
Oh, man.
Can't deal with that.
Yeah, cryogenically freeze me until nature finds the answer, or science finds the
Yeah,
answer.
robot dick or donkey dick, something.
Walt
Put something
Disney's
on
cock.
it. Walt Disney's head.
Right. Kill 2 birds with 1 stone there.
Oh man, what a tragedy! All that hard work for him to come back like
behind you, mate. Because he's pointing, he's looking down.
Right, he's like, "What's happening?"
Is this the? It's no more Fantasy Factory, really? Like that's it?
That's it.
Is that super sad, or did you have enough?
No.
Do you still? Is the factory gone?
No, the factory. I'll probably stay there for a couple years. You
right.
know, just all the amount of money I've wasted in it. It'd be stupid to get out of it.
So is it like a skate spot? People that know you can go and hang out and skate, or are you just doing business there?
I mean, it's mainly business, but I've just been doing so much restructuring. So I'm I'm restructuring everything, and then we've just made it way more skatable, so it's a lot more inviting. It was a little bit too gnarly, so I'm just getting it prepared to be more skated in the future.
Are you going to lose the things that you fly off into the foam pit? It's unnecessary at this point, right?
It is, for now at least, so, but we still use it for random deals and content deals and all this random stuff, so there's still going to be a lot of stuff.
We did talk about it just briefly, and I tried to explain to everybody else here of recent when I followed you on Instagram. Speaking of Instagram, thanks for blowing up my book, by the way.
Yeah.
You don't owe me shit, and you always do that. And it's some people that do owe me don't do it. So fucking thank you, bro. Anyway, I see an Instagram of you. I watch Fox Sports 1. That's probably what I watch the most because I'm looking for fights in Supercross. Maybe I watch Vikings now and True Detective. These are like some random TV shows. Everything else is either somebody getting punched in the face or they jump on a dirt bike. Otherwise, I don't really have time for it. Your Street League, your shit, your baby, is now on Fox Sports 1. You were on.
Praise God.
Also known as Dana White.
Right.
But you guys are friends with each other. You guys are cool.
Yeah, it's I've known Dana forever, and he's just, I don't know if you know how into skateboarding he is, right? Where his kids skate, like Big Cat teaches his kids to skate like every weekend. Like, it's like a really, really big deal.
Wait,
and
lessons?
Yeah.
So these guys are street skaters, and Big Cat's just fucking showing them how it's done all day.
Yeah.
Is he just jamming with them, or is he giving them like, this is how you do that?
I think he's jamming with them pretty tough because we've had like Fantasy Factory days where like P-Rod and Scheckler and everybody's there with Dana's kids and stuff, like having a session. So, but we had started talking to Fox because our ESPN deal, it just that whole global expansion blew apart for them, and it just became sort of pretty evident that that we're just kind of hidden below X Games, and that's never going to change. And we were able to get out of that deal, and so we started talking to Fox, and then Fox was starting to really get interested in us. And I've known Dana for years. I've never asked him a single thing. I've never asked for anything other than to be on Ridiculousness, you know. And I said, man, can you just put in a word? He's like, fuck yeah, are you fucking kidding me? I'll call you right back. Like, literally calls Eric Shanks, who's like, the dude who runs all of Fox Sports. So I'm talking like the Super Bowl and the World Series, like the most powerful guy in all the sport.
Yeah.
I'm fucking calling Shanks right now, and calls me back. You're good, bro.
I just realized I have Dana White's phone number.
Yeah.
Call him and say, hey, man, just put my fucking show on TV. Just throwing it out there. Who the fuck? What's the worst that can happen? No. Okay. What if he goes, hey, fucking hang on a fucking minute now. Let's fucking call you right back. And then big, and my dickhead face is on Instagram. Hey, Fox Sports 1. I don't know.
That's possible.
I can't tell you why, but I'm on here.
When's the last time you talked to Shanks?
Yeah.
And
Never.
incidentally, too, even the fact, the coolest guy in the world. This is the guy that runs it all, and even eventually meeting him, like, even we got the deal, like him sending me an email, like, we're gonna really do this. Congratulations, welcome to the family. It was like a welcome to the family thing from those guys, and it's just a really big deal because now they're gonna elevate skateboarding by itself and put it on the platform with Supercross and with UFC. So.
It's massive. It's massive because I'm a skateboarder. I'm a Five fan. I watch how everybody's going. I'm on the radio. I'm watching what how big is. I go to fucking sports stores. I notice it all of a sudden. I'm a bald guy that goes to get fucking New Era caps at the New Era store. Now there's one whole wall of shit that I grew up doing.
Yeah.
I remember when I first came to America. You get a football or a basketball one. That was it. I'm sorry, and a baseball one. Now there's over half of the fucking store is my shit.
Yeah.
Like a fucking Vulcan one. I'm like, a Vulcan one doesn't even make any sense. It's not even really that cool to begin with, and now you're making New Era ones? Oh, maybe I'm wrong, I'm being mean. Anyway, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
We're massive. We're a part of everything. Fox Sports 1 is the future of MMA. It's the best way I've ever seen the UFC look. And it makes me, because I know football, I watch it, and I'm like, oh, they got the little intro. It's the same as the football intro. We're all bonding together. You like football? Well, hey, have you checked out some of the UFC shit?
Yeah.
You know what? I fucking haven't, because I don't surf. I want to see my football games, so I'm starting to branch out. I'm like, this thing is going to help all those things grow, because it's super exciting to watch. If you love football, what do you love about football? People tackling people and shit. Have you seen these guys who are just born to knee each other in the face, and they're like the best of it? Now, Supercross, you told me Supercross is doing well. I'm like, how could you not like this? But, when you live in a world where you love it, in many years I would sort of say, how could you not understand how good this skateboard thing is? And they're like, because it's fucking, I don't care, dude. Like, you're going up and down on some ramp, spam me. And I'm like, you don't understand. But Moto, I figured everybody would understand. Obviously, they do. Everyone's into it.
Yeah.
Street
I still
League.
think Moto should be, if they could tighten it up a little bit, rather than like qualifiers, pre-main, if it could just be like, if it could just go drive to like the main, if you will, like just, that's just my personal opinion. I feel like they're doing so well right now, and they lose a lot of people over going through the 450 or the 250s into the 450s rather than focusing on the 450 star.
I think being fair to the people that are up and comers, do you have to have those qualifiers and last chance qualifiers? I think there's another way to solve it. I think the people that deliver the package to you could do it better. I think there are a lot of people that do the talking in the middle of, hey, check us out on Twitter and hashtag your mom. Yeah. Maybe that person should be a lot more gifted.
Yeah, I'm
not trying to take anything away from anyone that's already on there.
Right.
But you got to keep it rolling.
You're shitting on them all.
That's what I do. I pretty much 4 hours, 5 days a week, Rob.
But that's just like, for me, on when I think like, man, they got some, like, it just has so much potential because it is so exciting when the superstars are battling each other and like, that Ken Rosen, like Bubba won. Roxon when he came all the way back. Who's that? When he came all the way back and then just, flopped off like right at the end there. It's like, and just Reed winning this year. I don't know. It's like so exciting from the championship superstar factor. It's like it gets watered down, in my opinion, as like someone that's on the fringe of it, who would still be considered a fan. like the interest in the 250s, and it's split up amongst the country. I just don't. It doesn't feel the same to me as
I think you should be a part of their meetings. Dude, I'm serious. Like, I don't kiss your fucking ass.
Yeah,
You're
no.
a fucking genius. I've always said, when he's not around, don't I say it? This guy
Constantly.
is the guy.
It might as well be a regular segment.
I'm
of
a
the show.
competitor, so I kind of want to hate you a little bit because I'm like, man, it's you're pretty good, Ellis, but you're never going to be as good as him. That's a great idea. I wish I'd have thought of that just before he did. There's just all these things where I'm like, hey, I'm a funny guy. In skateboarding, I'm funnier than you. And now you're
No
the
doubt.
funny guy? And I'm like,
no doubt,
you're the
man.
world, you're America's funny guy?
Yeah, no.
I'm in skateboarding. How the fuck did you do that? I get it. You're an
Yeah,
entrepreneur.
man,
You
it's
fucking
that-
own all
it's
these
that
other things.
side, man. It's
And
that
you're the funny
entrepreneur
guy.
Side,
I'm
man.
like, come on. That's the only thing I got. But you've got those. That's serious input that they should fucking
Yeah.
take into account to make everything bigger.
Yeah, I mean, I've talked to him pretty extensively about it, but it's like taking that step. I just don't have the time. You know what I mean? I'm trying to live this uber balanced life of and saying no is what I'm really good at. Because you gotta realize, the only press I've done for this entire season was Larry King.
If I'm in this
Yeah.
fucking sentence right now,
Yeah, it's just Larry King, and I did these kids on this amazing website in New York called Elite Daily and You. That's it. Nothing else.
old, young, confused.
Larry King,
But
is
I'll take it.
incredible. Yeah, but that's because it's like really, I don't want to. I'm just sick of doing all that. But I'm big on no. But even from that, how I'm building my company and everything that I want to do long term of living in what I like to call the energy, or at least just doing what I'm best at all day and having an army of people to do everything else. So I only do what I enjoy and do it with people that I trust is really where I'm headed.
You're just business all day, though, right? Like, you're referring to the thing that you want to do and let everyone else handle it is your business. You've got ideas.
Yeah, I'd rather focus on the ideas and let the execution, because I micro a lot of the execution, and it's like trying to get out of that aspect so I can just work on the big thinking and the stuff that's more fun, and then still have enough time to live fun. It's like I'm saying no to stuff so that I can just chill out on a Saturday or go out on a Wednesday, like just so I can still live.
You got a girlfriend yet?
No.
You had like a little dime piece for a second, and
Yeah.
you were obviously thinking about being serious because she made it on your Instagram.
Yeah, no.
But
no.
she was obviously too pretty and not smart enough, because you are one of those people that goes for the dime pieces. And as
Yeah.
myself and Tully know from experience, not as much experience as you, Rob. I know you're very picky, but you remind me of a good friend of mine, Benji Madden. You're very picky, as in you pick people that are stupid.
Right. No.
But boy, are they hot. I'm not
Yeah.
saying she's not stupid.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure she might have been a smart lady,
Yeah.
but maybe you're too materialistic for you. There's more to you than the money, bro.
Yeah. Yeah.
Man, I should marry this
You're
guy.
good, man.
I love this guy. I'm like,
And the
if
thing
anyone
is-
wants to get him, just use these lines.
But it's like, the tough part is I'm not really built for it, right? And I'm built for what I need out of a relationship, if you will, is I get from these beautiful young
Blowjobs on the couch when you're done
Right.
making millions. I get it. And sold. Love me.
And so,
No.
and is
There's
there
more
an
to that.
ideal? Would it be ideal if you could get all that and have some super smart like drip? Yeah, but the odds of that are pretty slim.
You don't want to get married?
I think that I should.
Because I look at your mom and dad, and you married your sister
Yeah.
on TV.
Yeah.
These are normal people.
Yeah.
I think, I know normal people back home. Obviously I'm not a normal person, and there's perks to that, but there's also a downside to it.
Yeah.
You see the perks and the downside to being a normal person because you're close with your family.
Yeah.
None of that looks attractive to you?
I just think ultimately I'm just not normal. You know what I mean? And the reality of it is even that particular relationship, it was a couple years, and it was still ultimately boiled down to like, are you gonna marry me?
Yeah.
Nope. Right? And then that's like, and then it's like, okay, then let's stop wasting time. All right, like so
See,
it's weird.
I know, but it's almost, it's a gift and a curse. A girl who looks like that has to be. If you don't put a ring on it pretty soon, I'm going to go somewhere else because that's kind of the game. Have you not looked at it lately?
Right.
It's not. That's not how. That's not how it's supposed to go. As soon as you say that,
Yeah.
then all real love is lost.
No, 'cause I
Do
still
you
love
even-
her. I still hang out with her. You know what I mean? So
Of
it's
course,
like-
you still hang out with her. I can still hang out with her if she just had my fucking like Tully in the neck. I'd be like, as long as she hasn't got anything sharp in her hands, I think I'll go out with her.
It doesn't work out for anybody, right? To say, "Oh, I'm going to get married. Like this is the year or whatever." You just have a lot of fun, and then you find someone you can't shake.
But it's also
That's pretty
like,
much what
man,
happens,
I'm
right? Hopefully not for
Romantic,
hopefully for a good reason, not a bad reason. You can't shake him, and you go, "Okay, this is going on long enough. Let's make it official."
But I'm also just in this really good rhythm that it's like it's almost it's hard for me to ever think I could get out of this rhythm unless at some point I'm gonna feel like, okay, you're 45 years old, like you have to pull the trigger here. But maybe I don't know. Maybe I'm on that Clooney shit. Right now it's like such a nice rhythm that it would very difficult to walk away from this way.
You can't answer to somebody else when you're in charge of so many things.
Yeah.
You don't have time for that. It would almost seem unprofessional if you were like, oh man, I gotta, because they're gonna bring the wrath. It's just the way it is. I don't care how hard.
And I work hard. I'll be like, okay, Saturday's yours. Like Wednesdays, like I would schedule. Like you got all this time. We're gonna do this and this and this. It's still not enough. You know what I mean? It never really is, because ultimately, normal chicks just want you to be normal. Want you to have like a normal schedule and do stuff with friends. Like no, like the reason I live like this and have because I'm crazy. Like this isn't this is what I'm obsessed with, not like being normal,
Crazy? You're not crazy with girls though.
No, now I'm like,
Right.
I'm like so mature.
You don't have like 5 dicks or anything.
No,
Right.
God. And I'm not even like, I'm not on some,
Just a
like,
normal
I ain't
guy.
trying to pee on anybody.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Hey,
I'm not trying.
I figured that. I can
I'm
usually
trying
see
to
a
get
pee.
nutty.
You can tell when people pee on people.
If this job's made us good at anything, it's spotting the sexual urinators.
You got those, yeah.
That's one of the gifts of the trade. That's a different show. So is Street League going to change now it's on Fox Sports 1? Do you have more? I mean, Rob Dyrdek doesn't just go, here's my package that I've already had. You're going to soup it up because this is your time to kill, right?
Here's 2 big things I want to do is I'm flip-flopping 2 sections, so you don't win on the big section anymore. You win in the best trick section. And basically, you get to skate to your strength to try to win. I mean, you could do a quarterback pipe trick, you could do a ledge trick, you could do whatever. Where right now we have the contest always in on the big section. So it kind of gets monotonous a lot. A lot of dudes doing the same trick. So I'm going to flip-flop that. So the best trick section actually happens on the big section. So it's super exciting and fast-paced. And then when you go to the final section to win it, you can skate anywhere on the course. That way everybody can skate to their strengths, which I think will really change the dynamic of the way it feels, depending on how the courses are built. And then long-term, I want people to say what they're doing ahead of time and be prejudged, right? So that, like, because they know what tricks they're doing. It's not like they're freestyling out there. So when they say, all right, I'm going to try the kickflip back nose blunt, that gets to the announcer, so they can say, oh, it looks, so they know the strategy. They can do the setup, and then the person does it. Almost like how the Olympics is for gymnastics, where you know what they're trying, and depending on if they do it perfect, they can get a 15 or whatever the Olympics is, but if they mess it up, then their scores slowly drop. It would be that sort of transparency is what I'm hoping to do.
You're explaining it to the masses.
Right.
Because not everybody, you're assuming not everybody, this
no
is
one
a
knows,
lot of people's
right?
first
But
time.
even if you fully know, it's like, oh damn, he's trying to tray flip nose blunt right now. Like, you know, he's going for it. It could be like the highest score of his career if he does it perfect, right? It's like you're engaged in what's actually happening, which makes it more similar to poker, when it's like, you know, he's bluffing when he has a 2-4 and the guy's got ace. Like, it's like you're invested in his strategy, right? I think that's kind of still missing from what we could do to enhance it.
Have you ever tried to help Dana White out with the way he broadcasts his events?
No.
You wouldn't even suggest
wouldn't even
anything.
consider it.
Because I would.
Well, what would you think was wrong?
When they do replays of old fights, the walkout, they can't get the sign off on the song anymore because it's just it would cost too much money to play that song again. I get that.
Yeah.
So they have their own UFC band that plays a walkout song. How you were saying you don't want to see the 250s qualify and whatnot. Yeah, I don't want to hear do diddle doo doo do diddle doo doo do diddle doo doo do for fucking 5 minutes while this dude walks out. Where I'm like, this is not his song. This is not even pumping me out
this
to
doesn't
kill
even
anybody.
Count. This doesn't
It
count.
does count.
A, you're watching a repeat. You already know what's gonna happen.
Not everybody.
It's like, you're not trying to get like fired up for like something that's already been done in the past.
That's the worst thing you could say about the UFC's
like,
presence
it
on
is,
TV.
man.
They
It
should
is.
be doing and they should
I
hire
thought,
Dyrdeck.
man, I thought
They shouldn't
I thought
hire
you were
Dyrdeck.
gonna ask for transparency from the judging. I thought you were gonna go back to like the John Bones fight.
No,
Like,
the
I thought you were gonna
the
get
live
ready.
broadcasts are perfect.
Yeah.
No one's ever done a better thing in fighting, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Except for when they say, "Hey, everyone, let's go to the internet and watch it." I'm not cool with that.
Yeah, but
Put
that's
on
part
TV.
of they put everything they can on TV, but they weren't. Fox didn't want to do a lot of their extra fights. That's why they have those 12 fights online, and they're scaling their overall media by building a subscription service for premium content that's going to be worth an ungodly amount of money in the long term. Real business shit, Jason.
You know who else?
Yeah, I'm just looking to kick somebody in the dick and get bitten by a snake.
Pay me.
What do you mean we can't negotiate?
I got kicked in the dick. How much money do I get?
If I don't get what I want, I'm gonna quit getting people bitten in the dick by snakes.
Give me more money. I'll let him kick me in the dick again. Rob, you must know about the WWF, WWE recently did the exact same thing. And apparently it's really successful for them out of the gate. They have an internet channel for wrestling, and it sounds like a joke. It's a subscription thing, and they're basically saying to whoever has like Raw or whatever their one show a week is, here, you can show it. You get one window, no repeats, no anything. The world remembers that we exist and we're on TV, but everything else, all the archives, everything that ever happened, it's on an internet channel. It costs like $10 a month, and they're like, there might be 1 million people who want to pay for that.
It's the future. I mean, we're doing it too. Like, and the way we're gonna do it is premium live content through our platform. We're gonna build like basically a permanent street league facility, and then we're gonna have mini game battles, right? Where Sheckler versus David Gonzalez on the quarter pipe, like still 5 out of 10 scores, like do all these live mini games that still sort of push the idea of what the contest format is, but making it more a gamesmanship of these superstars, right?
Keeping those fuckers busy, huh?
Well, what are they? They're
What
in
are
this
they doing?
day and age, in this day and age, like you have to be hitting them from every single angle to be now. You film a video part for 3 years. It comes out online. Everybody forgets about it in the next week. It's a cold-blooded world out there for the street skater.
Yeah, I'm not sympathetic to them at all.
You shouldn't be.
Too
You
fucking
shouldn't be.
bad. Guess what?
Oh,
I didn't
sorry,
even have...
sorry. You got a Nike contract and make $5 million a year.
Yeah,
And your video part doesn't matter.
Exactly. You cocksuckers. Hello, Danny. This is a good question because I have Wolf Knives. This is my brand that I'm starting here, and it's this little thing that I got going. More accidental, as you can tell by the rest of my life. But now that it is a brand, Danny obviously has a company that he's trying to build, and he wants to know how to build the brand. And I'm just going to kick back and listen. Me and Danny are both going to be awestruck on this information.
Go ahead, Danny.
Thanks.
What is the name? What is the name? Who's the customer? Who's it for? Who's it for? All right, well, okay, let me say this, man. You got to decide who it's for, where they live, how you're going to market to them. Then you got to build a business plan that says, hey, if I have this T-shirt, it costs me $4 to make. We're going to sell it for $15 online or $8 to this 5 core shops because I've already talked to them and they want to buy it. And you build a business plan against, like, if I can sell 10 of these a week and 20 of these online at this margin, like, I can create a business and scale it into this. So if somebody, here's my business plan for 3 years to take this idea that appeals from CEOs to street skaters, and if I had $50,000, I can turn your $50,000 with a little bit of hard work and luck to $500,000 in 3 years. Without that business plan and that strategy, you'll never be able to do it. Even if you had your own money to do it, you're still going to just be throwing darts and hoping for the best. You have to build a plan. And if you build a good plan, then somebody will invest in it, because there's all types of people looking to get rich off the clothing game.
You should be. This should be costing you money. By the way, this is your
say
final
this.
question. Go
Let
ahead.
me say this: the reality of it is you should be able to. Your brand should stand for something. If people don't feel like they can believe in it, and what's the why of your brand? What is the essence? What is the voice? Like, if they believe in your brand, that is the only way you're going to find separation in a world that is so cluttered and impossible, such as clothing. You know, where I would think if you want to really chase down finding opportunity, you got to look at white space. And white space could be distribution. Like, if you came up with an amazing clothing idea that was going to be sold in 7-Elevens or in all the gas stations in your town, like, now you've entered a new distribution outlet that has zero competition, and you attack that and attack the customer that goes in there you have an opportunity. You have to evaluate all that. But just coming up with an idea and thinking you're going to be the next big thing in clothing is incredibly difficult.
I'm disappointed he was too humble to say what the two objectionable words were that he was combining into it. I've just been sitting here the whole time going, fuck bag, what's this guy's label?
It's just such a bad idea. You don't want to have a clothing company for your action sports community that is, you know, in fuckhole or whorecon or anything like that. It's not worth it. Trust me.
Yeah.
So even if it's kind of catchy, because I get away with it. A lot of people know me because I say like really harsh shit, and that makes people want to sponsor me. And then as soon as they listen to what I'm saying, then they're fucking terrified.
Yeah.
It's like being super edgy. Hey everybody, whoa, everyone talk about the edgy guy. You still there's no money in that. You might people might know who you are, but there's no money in that.
Yeah.
If you're trying to do it because you want to make money, I'm assuming like if you want to be in a business, that's usually a really good angle.
But I think more than anything, what I've learned, and I've done it for years, because I have lost millions of dollars making really bad decisions off of, I'm going to do this, right? And it's not having that pure business plan, having goals in the ground, like stakes in the ground of your goals financially. So it's like, hey, in the first year, and knowing your customer, knowing your distribution, knowing your margins, who are you selling, what's success? Like, nobody does that.
Is that how you pitched your first TV show, with this exact like?
No, I went in there like, I don't like, he's funny, like he's a big guy, like that's what I'm saying. Like I believe today I'm just beginning to figure it out. Like, I feel like the last 20-year run I've been on is a shit show clusterfuck where I fucked everything up, and I finally am in a place right now where I'm starting to do it the right way, right? I literally feel like I'm starting over this week.
That's depressing. Because
but I'm saying, if you're getting on some shit like this, that you have to think like that. You can't just like, I got a pretty cool idea. You got to get into what does it stand for? What is the voice? Who's the customer? What's the distribution outlet? Because someone like you could go to a shop. There's that small, like, kind of inland empire, like, it's called Riders, right? It's like where the Metal Militia does really well.
Yeah.
It's where all this. It's like, if you can, I believe there's a huge opportunity in retail for not the Zoomies and Pac Suns and Tillies that all kind of are feeding off the same customer, but there's a peripheral world that's still that is a motocross world, and fucking there's 1,200 core super motocross stores, right? Like, coming up with and connecting a voice to that. Like, they're not running anything like lifestyle or based out of there. It's like finding a distribution outlet that identifies with what you are and your voice and sort of that like fuck you mentality, and applying that to how the product is created, then finding distribution that you're not trying to find someone like, hey, can we get this into Tilly's? Can we get this into Pakistan, where it's a fucking dogfight for even the elite brands, right? So if you could do that, that's going to give you light years ahead of trying to do it any other way.
Well, I don't even sell it to stores, Michael. I just sell it directly to the people that want it.
It's nice, actually.
It is. I actually got asked if they wanted to put my stuff in stores, and I was like, yeah, okay.
And who does the manufacturing and distribution?
Just Benchmark. It's like
a print
it's
on
just
demand
there.
print.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just started to get bigger.
How long have you been doing it?
How long's the Wolf Knife's been around? That's a while, right?
I'd say going on like 2 years, something like that.
I started
that
at clothes.
ring? Where's that ring at?
I don't have it on. Why, you want one? I'd fucking throw it out the window as soon as it drives off.
Nah, Marky Mark was so proud of it, man.
Yeah, it could work.
Yeah.
You know, it's just, it's not, it's like you said, I don't have, to me, I don't think, if I'm really passionate about something, then that's all I think about.
Yeah.
And then eventually I cover all bases because I can't stop thinking about it.
Yeah.
My angle on my clothing company is, if you don't buy it, well, I'll wear it because I like it.
Right.
I'm not looking to make $1 million out of it. I'm looking to wear shit that I want to wear because, to me, quite frankly, everything that you're selling to me, everyone else has got it on, and I don't want to wear it. I did that for fucking 25 years. I don't want to wear your t-shirt. I want to wear my t-shirt.
Yeah.
So I just make them that way. I don't have this big... The show is a different story. Like the show is, this thing has to be successful. So I think about this all day. The clothing company...
Who's your manager? Like, who's your business partner?
My business partner?
Do you have a business partner?
No. I have a new manager.
You need, like, a partner.
Why? Do you want to be my partner? Because
I
otherwise,
wouldn't-
no.
I wouldn't have the time, right? But it's like, I would say even to give you an idea of why I know I'm starting over, is I finally hired someone full-time to be the CEO of the company, a real CEO, which in turn helped restructure the company properly and then start deep business. While I'm out here having all these great visions, the deep infrastructure of the business strategy, right? Of hiring we hired CFO and a head of brands and a head of biz dev and a head
You're
of
doing
media.
television.
No, fair enough. I'm telling you the scaled out mega version. But I'm saying that one individual that you trust that eats on the upside with you, where they're not managing a ton of different things and doing a ton of different things. It's just, how do we scale the business of Jason Ellis is what you need, because you're doing such a good job of books and Ellis Mania and all this stuff, like and having this stuff on Fuel. Like, why do you not have a platform that's speaking a voice where this is just one of the extensions of your platform, right? Being the radio show, and then really you should be creating content that's scalable in nature, right? You all these big things that you do, and I'm just going in on you. I'm just going in on you, right? So think about, like, if you had a platform and you spent you did a deal and did this content you should be doing ideas that could become shows in small form that you get run and you build momentum on your own platform that could scale to a television show. You know what I mean?
Talking about doing shows on ellismania.com.
Yeah, of course.
We've been pretty close to that.
Yeah.
There's like things that we've actually done on that website, but there's never been
I think there's so much more.
a team or.
But let me say this too. As opposed to right now, it's like a catch-all for the crazy, as opposed to being like more. Is it? And I'm not 100% familiar, but it really ramps up for when Ellis Mania happens. Then it's basically just the footage connected, slowly put out, connected to it, right? As opposed to, and it's based off of the event rather than based off of like the ideology that you stand for, and there being more depth to the same attitude, but in a varied type of way. You know what I mean?
No, I think. Okay, now I understand. That is in the works. I've fired everybody and started again. I have a radio manager now.
Yeah. Because
that's what I am. I have a very confusing agent manager life where they're like, you're action sports, you're not a rock star, no, not you're a fighter, not really, not race car driver or any of it really. Used to be a skateboarder, now I'm really good at radio. The other things, just happy to dabble in them from time to time. So now I have a radio guy that knows stuff that I don't know, which is the first I've ever had a guy that would know more information about radio than me, which is scary because I don't really know anything about radio.
Yeah.
I just am lucky. Apparently people like my accent and fart jokes. Really, you know what I mean? I was like, I'm gonna be the biggest. How? Because I'm gonna be.
No, that's.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't tell you exactly how the whole plan was gonna go at the start.
Well, that's good because the reality of it is you still have so much more potential in this forum than you're even close to reaching, right? So it's like that will be ultimately be the lead that can drive everything behind it too. But everything's got to be done thoughtful, and that's only done with like a business-minded team.
We're getting there, right? Wouldn't you say that I'd be closer now than ever?
Yeah, we're kind of.
I mean, look at this studio, man. I don't
When
know
you
if
walked in, your mind was blown.
I'm just saying, if this isn't someone who made it, I don't know what it could be. I was joking on the way up, like, oh, does he have an amazing view? And it's like the most stunning view I've ever seen.
It's actually an amazing view. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like.
It is
shocking.
weird.
Rob, let me ask you something. I'm curious. What's like a better day for you when you're driving home at the end of work? A day where you filmed a bunch of episodes of Ridiculousness Say, or a day that you cracked a distribution model for getting a T-shirt into 7-Eleven?
Or a day you bought a horse.
Or a day you spent skating?
I don't
He
think
hates
there is no method to what it is, right? Progression is the key to happiness. As long as I can have any day that you're getting beaten down or a ton of different things, or you have burdens that are plaguing you. I think for me, it's just kind of all molding together, right? Where I've just been, and I'm so organized and so focused and living so balanced that I try to keep myself in that forward momentum energy on a daily basis. And really, the only thing that brings that down is like when a handful of bad things happen that are inevitable in life, or just little things like that. Those are the things that jam you up. But I enjoy them all on the same sort of level, right? Because filming an Instagram video of a skate trick is like, oh, like you still can't like replace what it feels like to battle a trick, even if it's an easy one now that you're old. It's like still filming. It's like, oh, like it means just as much. Like I know what it's like when I, go have a ridiculousness show and it's super fun and amazing fun versus like one where I'm digging it out with someone that doesn't even know where they're at. You know what I mean?
These are difficult making skateboard tricks and uncomfortable when people don't understand why they're here. Totally bonding right now, Rob. Matter of fact, I can't remember the last time it was easy to do a fucking skateboard trick. That's why I don't do them anymore.
Oh man, you tell me.
Bum me out.
Tell me about it. So
Father time.
And that's just the reality of if you want to be happy, genuinely really happy, you can't have burdens, and you always got to be moving forward. It's just life, every aspect of it.
You and Big are good now, huh?
We are.
You won.
For a long time.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Who patches that up? You guys professionally do it,
Oh,
or do you do it with each other?
So
Like, come on,
long
man.
ago, but it was really on some him, just going hammer on me left and right. Finally, I just said, man, like what why? And then it's like, man, I just was looking for you to talk. It was literally this is how it was like 2 years of him just going hammer on me and me ignoring it. And when I finally said, what is wrong with you? I was just looking for a response. What's up? We literally had like a 5-minute conversation. All right, you want to do the next season event? It wasn't even it was literally like a 5-minute fuck, that was crazy. What a weird run. All right, let's get back into it. And then it was like, do you want him to just come on for an episode of season 5 of Fantasy Factory or season 4, whatever it was? And I was like, fuck it, nah, let's just go all out, man. And then it was like, literally, it was as if nothing. It was like
No big talk.
Not little. We had a real heart to heart on the realness of the whole situation.
Right. One time.
Yeah.
And then that's it. You're straight.
Yeah.
Straight back on camera, working with each other.
Yeah.
You guys are born to work together.
Yeah.
So it works out easy. I'm happy for him. I didn't like when you guys weren't friends because
you were in the middle.
I don't know about that. That's because I'd heard both sides of the story at one point, and doing this radio show every day with people, like we've had people leave as well. Where it happens, man. And I knew that you guys had got on each other's nerves, and whatever you had to say about each other wasn't really the point. It was, I'm fucking in a room with this cocksucker for 5 years, and now we're not with each other, so I don't have anything positive to say.
I don't even think it was much that. I think it was as much, I had this grand desire to do so much more. I think that he got overwhelmed by a lot of it in the sense of, I had the base, right? I already had money. I already had been a professional skateboarder. I had the base, sort of, and then I had this great desire of how this wasn't what I wanted to do. I knew that there was so much more I wanted to do. This was just a part of one of the things I've done, right? And for him, it was like literally getting a phone call for the DC video of like doing security, living in an apartment in El Cajon, to 3 years later, you're a pop cultural celebrity. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So this transition, it just got. Both of us were worn out by the idea of us, right?
Yeah.
Like, neither of us wanted to be. He didn't want to be Rob Dyrdek security guard. I didn't want to be like the dude on Robin Big, right? It was like, I think that was more the root of it, and then as it circles back, it's like now it's like whatever, right? It's more just like, you know, and most of the stuff I did this season, where I just mainly wrote like all Robin Big style stories. It's so much easier for me and him, just like me and him just talk. It's like a funny scene. Like it's so much easier to execute. And he's willing to get bold, man. He was willing to like do an episode around getting his prostate checked. You know?
See, those are the people, because it's once again just like a successful, way bigger version of me. I had the same things where I'm like, people, if you're gonna like, this is everybody has a place in this, and if you step up to the plate. Granted, sometimes your position is not as flattering as mine.
Yeah.
I started this. You know, if I'm the guy that has to get his prostate checked, if that's what everyone thinks is the best person to get his prostate checked, stick your finger up my ass.
Right.
I'm doing this for the common goal.
Not me.
Yeah, well, it's because it's different. People putting things in my butt is a different thing compared to Rob Dyrdek. You've heard some of the shit me on Stern. It's really not that big of a deal anymore. You know what I mean? Like, oh, what are you gay? Yeah, okay. I'm a raging homo. Now change my life. Like, I don't fucking care what anyone thinks anymore. You have a different.
Look, it ain't even whether or not I care what somebody thinks about. I let a man stick his finger in my butt.
Yeah, you don't want to.
Not even like, and when he wrote, he's like, no, you got to do it together. And then like Shane, who we do the show with, was like, must have told Big Black like just try to get him to do it with you. And this like must have fed that to him before we started shooting it, because he was like, no, you got to do it with me. I said, man, I will die before a man.
Wait a minute.
I don't know what you're doing
doctor?
right now.
You won't let a doctor finger you?
I will fucking. And when we got in there,
Will
and
you
we're
die
like
of ass cancer
scene,
before you're fingered?
and look, and when I did the Larry King thing, he's like, Rob, listen to me.
Don't let anyone finger you.
No, he was like, General Schwarzkopf had an option. General Arnold, whatever the doctor, wanted to check his prostate.
Yeah.
And he refused because of rank.
Yeah.
He died of prostate cancer. I said, Larry, you trying to tell me in 2014 there's not a fucking app that I can fucking put up to my fucking ass to see if there's fucking cancer in it? You trying to tell me in 2014 the only way to identify cancer in a human being is a fucking finger? Like, you're...
Well, I don't understand how a fucking app can read anything in your ass crack.
Yo, I'm just saying,
We haven't gone that far. I'm telling you, if you have suspicious that you might have cancer in your ass, you will not let a doctor finger your butt. Is that what you're saying?
Okay, if I have suspicion...
What is your butt problem?
If I have suspicion,
Okay.
Thankfully, doesn't run in my family.
How old are you?
39.
Oh, man.
You're getting fingered on your birthday, buddy.
Start the countdown.
Start the countdown.
That is
That
the year of legal fingering. Every doctor you go to from 40 on is a recommended fingering.
And Larry ended with like, Rob, just face it. You're gonna have to get you're gonna have to get a finger in the butt.
Yeah.
And some guys like that. Like
He did that?
He just hit me with that. I was like, oh.
That's no way to
Yeah,
convince someone to get fingered in the ass to put the thumb. Some guys like that on the end of it. That throws me off. I'm like, wait, well, I don't want to get it then.
It's Larry King.
Yeah, he's the victim of untold fingerings. How many times do you think Larry King had his ass fingered? It's in the triple digits.
Oh no! There's no way he comes any other way, right?
He's got a guy who comes to his house once a week. Oh.
I almost ran him over one day. It was on Rodeo Drive. I was driving. My stepmother was with me.
She was saying.
Yeah, oh yeah. Oh my God! You almost ran over Larry King. He should have fucking moved then, shouldn't he?
Yeah,
I almost run over Larry King all the time. Just another day.
He's going to do the first episode of this season of Ridiculousness, too.
What? Wait, you guys hit it off?
Yeah.
You brought him up a lot right now. You're hitting it off with that guy?
Yeah, he's incredible, man.
He is?
Yeah.
What, switched on?
In what sense?
Fucking here on the planet with us.
Yeah, like just like a genius, man. He's
A
like,
genius.
yeah, like in his interview on me, he went so deep and like
He went deep on your interview? I didn't see this fucking interview where he never goes deep.
His
Ever? He went deep on you?
His reputation is for the exact opposite. He's the guy who asked Seinfeld about what he did after Seinfeld got canceled. And Seinfeld was like, it was the biggest show in America. I ended it. You didn't know that, Larry?
Yeah, no, I think that was just like a single example. I don't know. It was a profound experience for me.
So obviously he really likes Rob. He's really into Rob Dyrdek. Does he have kids
Well, I
and
can't
a
say
skate
that.
or
I can't say that because I did run into him at a restaurant
after?
After, and he was like, "Oh, this is a big time snowboarder here."
Yeah. Oh, you bastards.
Oh! It was like just the most
His wife?
acclaimed. Oh.
Who was older, you or his wife? Did he get a new one?
Yeah. She's like
She have gloves on?
she's young, hot for like she's like a bad like 50-year-old. You know.
Bad ass?
Cute.
Oh, right.
Sexy,
Yeah.
sexy.
It's like Hard Buddy?
A what?
You mean like goes to the gym kind of
Yeah,
50-year-old?
yeah. Like just like
Fake titties?
Oh yeah.
Surgery, plastic
Oh,
surgery.
yeah. All day.
Yeah, right,
All
right.
day.
Look like 1 million other sisters out there. You know, the same nose and
Oh yeah.
everything. They all kind of
Oh
look
yeah.
related
All
now.
over Beverly Hills. All over that Beverly Hills Real Housewives show.
You see, you might, and especially the way you're going, you might want to look into getting fingered, because if you're just going to be this solo Clooney guy until you're older, you probably want to get, that's how you finish.
No. I had this great vision, right? Because I see the future from time to time.
How does it look for me?
It looks good.
Fuck yeah. This is the only motherfucker I believe, by the way. You realize that? Some dickhead with a globe in front of him right now, I'd be like, fuck off. I'm going to win. I believe you.
I'm dying at 105.
Ooh.
And on my 104th year, I'm going to be shot into space. And I'm just going to travel around space until I finally die. And then I'm just going to be a corpse.
Are you broadcasting in your little capsule, or are you solo?
It depends on what the technology is by the time we get there. But for the most part, that's going to be my goal.
Solo?
Yeah.
Big's not in there.
No.
He's not making it to 105, is he?
He's going to be long gone by then. No offense.
If you ever get asked to sign an autograph on the street, have you ever said, no, I'm busy?
Never.
How do you feel about
If
people
you
who do
get
that?
me, if you catch me, you got me.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm never going to be, like, if you're you got to be so out of pocket, like, jump over my fence and knock on my back door for me to get on some angry stuff. If I'm in the streets and you catch me, you got me.
Your cousins.
Yeah.
You love them, right?
I do.
You'll do anything for them.
I would.
Is it weird to have two people that barely say a fucking thing and you bounce shit off them? Is it, you know that you're funny because they don't say anything? Is this the dynamic? Because I watch Ridiculous now. I'm not allowed to watch Ridiculousness with the kids anymore because I got in trouble for something that had nothing to do with ridiculousness, but my ex is just trying to shut it down. So I'm like, okay, I guess I can't watch Ridiculousness anymore because I guess somebody got kicked in the dick or God, that's right, because they brought up you let that girl try to kick you in the privates, and I'm like, yeah, well, that's being funny, but it got cut.
No.
Yeah, he said.
What
He
the
said that a whole check this out, dude. I get a call from my ex, and we're friends now. We're completely cool. Hi, Daddy. I know. As soon as I hear it, I'm like, what? I just picked up Tiger from school today, and he called. Somebody said that he was a horse, and he said, "Oh yeah, well you're a whore." And then the teacher said, "Where did you learn that? No, what is a whore?" And he said, "A whore is a lady." And she said, "Who told you that?" And he said, "Daddy." And I said, "I have never said that a whore is a lady in front of anyone. I don't even say it on the radio when my son isn't around." And she's like, "Well, maybe he gets it from that show Ridiculousness." And I'm like, Rob doesn't say that ladies are whores on there.
Maybe. On, like...
You are more X-rated now than ever. Every year it goes up a little more and more.
That's
Oh,
always been the
bullshit.
same.
It's
Always been
fucking
the
elephants
same.
eating shit out of somebody's ass.
That's
I'm
like the OG one. That's
was
like one of the first seasons.
That was edgy. But you have people on there now that you don't...
There was the only recent one that was like, where people went hammer, was like two dudes spitting in each other's mouths while they were making out. Like it is
What?
the most.
Wait, that's on? That's on? That's on ridiculous?
It was so
Wait.
nasty. Yeah.
Wait, what fucking joke video is that?
I can't remember what the category was, but it was like I was like I can't
Who's
even
the
look
guest?
at this.
Who's
Like,
the guest?
I want to say that was Lacey Chabert, man. That really sweet, innocent sweetheart, where it was like literally mortified her. If I remember correctly.
Who put that on there?
It was like when I was watching it down, I was like, we can't do this. Then everyone was like, yeah, but it's like, man, it's so next level. All right, just put it on there. Nasty.
So sometimes you have guests now that, because your show's so big, you got everybody on there.
Yeah.
So sometimes you got guests where you don't know who they are and they don't know who you are.
Yeah.
You don't like that, right?
I don't mind it. I mean, it's you just never know. You know what I mean? It's like Mac Miller. I was like, even Mac Miller, I didn't know anything about him. I didn't, and then even right before we started filming, he was like, "Oh man, I'm so nervous." He was all quiet. I'm like, "Man, I'm like, don't even worry about it. All we got to get is basically one thing per segment, and I'll just keep asking you questions, and I'll move on once I know it's gonna be nothing. All you got to do, you don't even got to react."
Yeah.
He murdered it. So he was so funny, so good that it was like mind numbing. Like where I'm like, you could take this thing over when I'm over it. You're that good, you know, and you just never know. And some people you think would be like, I thought Floyd Mayweather would be out of control and crazy, and he was super,
Well, you're not that smart, are you?
and then he
I
was
would've
super
known.
mellow, you know what I mean? So
He's real good at boxing.
Yeah.
Do you ever feel pressure on, because I was telling Tully the other day, sometimes depending on the guest. Like I have two guests today. Rob Dyrdek coming on. I would probably, because I know you, so it's not a thing to me. It's just another day. Look forward to seeing my friend. There's another person that's coming on after you, Alyssa Sutherland, who is a girl who's on Vikings. It's a TV show that I just got into because I like watching people fucking smash shit.
Yeah.
She's on it.
Yeah.
I can't get the Viking, but I can get her.
Yeah.
And I don't know her that well, so I'm not worthy.
Yeah.
So it's a pressure that I have been burning myself on for a couple of days. Every now and then I'll think and go, oh, I really hope that works out. You know what I mean? I'm trying to think of ways to solve that problem. What can I talk about? You know, and Jason, can you please not start off on this foot? Because I have to tell myself that 3 or 4 times a day, hoping that when she does show up in an hour from now, that I don't go, so how's your, you know what I mean, has your pussy ever been ripped in half by somebody with a big dick? Do you like black dicks? Do you know what I mean? Like, what, why? Don't go down there.
if she opens the road, you head on down.
Right, but in radio, as in life, you have to butter them up a little bit before you get.
Yeah, but it is what it is, right? And it's also, you know, quickly, like if how cool the person is and how they're feeling, how much chemistry, or they're super reserved and pull back. Especially for me, it's like, you know, when you're in a dogfight. You know what I mean? And it's like,
So that's what it is here.
yeah, it's like you just never know. Some people you just think like, oh, it's gonna be okay. This is gonna be a tough one, and then they just are so good. It makes it so much fun, and then the energy flows, and the crowd is flowing, and every last thing, and but just sometimes it sucks.
Who's the worst?
God,
Any awkward silences?
I think maybe Cody Simpson was pretty tough, right?
Who's Cody Simpson?
He's like a little pop star from
Is
Australia.
he Australian?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember seeing that and going,
Yeah.
oof, Rob's not picking the guess.
Yeah. So I know I approved it. You know what I mean?
He's big.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't. It's just.
You're MTV now, dude.
But it's also how we can build an episode was one I struggled with, right? But I struggled with Mac Miller, thinking like I don't know, like I don't, and sometimes they kind of push me along on different people. Sometimes it's just like interesting on who it is. But that was probably the most unusual. I'm trying to think of. I would say even though you know I know Floyd well, it was like Floyd wanted to bring his chick out with him, and we didn't care. But then like he almost was trying to like keep it mellow because he was with her. You know what I mean? But he did bring $1 million.
I was about to say, more importantly, he did bring $1 million.
And didn't say a word to me about it. Like if I don't bring it up. And that was like the third act. Like I just brought, like, you know how you carry that $1 million around. Like never said a word to me about it. He was like, "Oh, I got it with me right here." And I'm like, "Are you really?"
Who had? Somebody had it sitting there.
I don't know if you've ever seen how he rolls, but it's like 8 of the biggest people you've ever seen in your life. And it's so sick because he moves. He's so friendly and talks to everyone and everywhere he goes. And the amoeba of giant people move around him. So they allow him to move wherever he wants. It looks like just an amoeba of giant men.
Do you have security?
No.
Never?
I was just in the Beverly Center rolling solo, man.
How have you managed to pull that off? Because I would say, out of this show has been a radio show for 6 years, and the last 3 years pretty big. When I go to Supercrosses and stuff, I'm way more famous than I ever was when I rode a skateboard.
Yeah.
50% of my fame is from being on Rob Dyrdek's Ridiculousness one time. I come on here every day. There's a lot of people that recognize me if I had my hat on backwards to the side because that's how I had it on that show.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, I was on it one time. You're the host of it.
Yeah.
You don't get bombarded? The
keep in mind,
TMZ
it's
out
like-
on you?
Yeah, but I don't go to you.
Because they don't harass you. How come you never get in trouble? How come you never
because
fuck
it's
up?
like it's like occasionally they get out of pocket with some shit, but I don't.
What
you
do they
just-
say?
No, they don't. You know, like even the last time, like I'll never talk to them if they talk to me, and then they brought up like that other cooking show I have coming out, and then I was like,
You have a
shit.
cooking show?
Yeah, it comes out a couple weeks.
You're the host of a cooking show.
No, I just produced it.
Oh, so you got somebody else to host the
Yeah,
cooking
Eddie
show.
Wong hosts it. If you know who that is, that kid with that Vice show. Super sick. And then Chrissy Teigen is one of the judges.
The model, sure.
Shit.
But we did an episode of Fantasy Factory where Big Black competed against John Legend and Melanie Iglesias to win the cooking show as part of the episode of Fantasy Factory last week.
And did you do that episode with an eye towards rolling out this other show?
Yeah. Integration.
I'm not your dad or anything. I don't want to say I'm proud of you, but I'm like, what the fuck am I? Your fucking grandfather or something? Or just, it's good for you, man.
So is this like a celebrity cooking challenge?
No, basically what it is imagine you come back to the house at 3 a.m. and all you have is random shit in the cupboards. It's like a snack food competition. Like you got Twinkies and a half an egg and
Big would be good at that.
right. So you cook the most random shit, and the dishes are so funny, and all the contestants are like stoner partiers. Like it's so funny. Then the host is super amazing, and all the judges are super good. So it's a really, really cool like way to do a cooking show, like a fuck you like.
When's that
funny
come out?
version. It's supposed to come out in April, but they're talking about moving it to August, so I don't know right now.
Well, in the meantime, tonight it's the fine for now. It's over. I'm not gonna. Oh, wait a minute. It's not over. What am I talking about? It's over, but it's still gonna be on TV forever. MTV
Yeah, oh my
2 as
God.
well.
I mean, 20 million. It just ridiculousness alone aired on Sunday like 25 times, and it ended up with 20 million viewers on Sunday, all cumulative. You know what I mean? It's like psychotic how much they do.
Can't believe TMZ doesn't harass him more.
But
He
they
just
let me
doesn't
live.
bite on it. That's why.
But you don't bite on it, and you just don't go to where if you want to live in it, you go live in it. You know what I mean?
yeah.
The same way that if I wanna just show up at Supercross and walk around, guess what? I'm getting annihilated.
Yeah.
So it's like I would never do that. Like if
Why
I
not?
would do it, I would be like, hey, can someone can we have a plan here? I have to plan it.
Was there a day that happened before you were prepared? Do you know what I mean? Because I've done a Supercross thing where it kind of got. There was like, hey man. I'm like, whoa, that's a lot of people.
I'll tell you the time it really happened. When me and Bam Bam went to right after Rob and Big started, we went to a UFC fight, and it was that was the first time where I was shook. It was that was the beginning. I had just gotten. We were just overran. Trying to walk through the MGM. It was super psycho. But that was kind of the beginning of whoa. But now it's it's been so many years, and it's just the beauty of today is I had some free time before the show here, so I was able. I can't go and do it. Not overly hardcore, but it's just going to the Beverly Center on a weekend is the only time I'm usually free because of my schedule. But I just even going there today, so nice because there's nobody in there at 11 o'clock. You know what I mean? And it's that way you're just kind of cruising around. I was just rolling solo.
Nobody freaked out.
Nobody freaked out.
It can be done. It was a real
if you
it's
manage it. That's why you look at all the other celebrities that aren't in it all the time. You're like, what are they doing? What are they just not even around? No, you just go to they're all posted where the celebrities that want to get shot go.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's not there's certain people that are so like on your next level that they hunt them, you know what I mean? But everybody else is like showing up there trying to like get their shot to like, oh, I don't know, ask me something. Oh, and we'll answer every question in the hopes of seeing it on TMZ.
So you have from the start when paparazzi take Rob, what about blah blah blah? What about blah? You do the I don't say nothing.
Depending on how every now and then I've fire something off depending on what the question is here and there, and then it'll always end up in some weird thing, but never too dramatic. You know, it's good. I'd rather.
No, it's the smart road to go down. It's just, it just makes me realize how dumb a lot of famous people are.
I always remember I used to work for Carson Daly's about 10 years ago, and I remember one day Christina Aguilera, at the absolute height of Christina Aguilera, came in, and I always say it was, if you remember Elian Gonzalez, when the Cuban refugee came in, they moved him out of the house, like, go, 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 go. That was moving Christina Aguilera through a hallway.
Yeah.
And then 2 seconds later, the elevator opens, and Carson Daly walks out in a pair of sunglasses.
Yeah.
And at that point in time, this is like TRL days, they were just as famous as one another, and Christina Aguilera needed to be moved like a hostage, and Carson Daly had walked in through the streets of New York with some sunglasses on. So to an extent, it's like you get that posse around you, well, then everybody starts going, well, who's in the center of that maelstrom, you know?
Yeah.
I wanted it all, Rob.
You want it all?
I did. I really wanted it all. I thought at one point, why can't paparazzi harass me? And now, at the cusp of glory,
yeah.
I'm saying to myself, this is great. Nobody knows.
Yeah.
I'm like the drummer of Slipknot.
The Beverly Center is your oyster.
Oh, I can urinate in the Beverly Center and no one will say anything to me.
No, they would just be like, he's a prisoner. Who is this fucking prisoner?
He's escaped.
Just constant 911 tips.
A couple of questions before Rob goes. Tonight at 10:30, you will... Wait, no. Yeah, 10:30 after Ridiculousness. Ridiculousness? Rob Dyrdek's Fantasy Fashion. The end of it. It's over. It's never going to happen again.
Hour-long special.
It's 1 hour.
And I break the world record for jumping a car back.
I saw the preview for that. What the fuck? See, fuck you, man. That's what I do. I'm a truck. You fucking... What the fuck? He does the fucking backwards jump. Not me. Him. Makes fucking perfect sense. All I want to do is be a race car driver. I don't even want to race cars, but I'm going to do the biggest fucking backwards jump on the face of the planet.
If it was up to them, I would be a rally racer for them. And
no, I don't. See,
like,
fuck
no,
you.
Like, what the fuck? I don't want to
Tell him to get. I got a guy. Say you've got a guy.
Every single person. I said like I know a million people that want to do that. That's not something I want to do, and they're like, no, okay, all right.
Fuck. All I want to do. Go, Brian. Hurry up. Yes, Brian.
Man, I would imagine maybe eBay, but I know we don't really sell them anymore. I know that it just kind of slowed down as a whole, and we kind of evolved away from doing the deal with Famous, and now it might actually go back to Famous. But I'm entering an age of being out of the rogue status business as a whole here.
eBay. Steve, you're on with Rob Dyrdek. I can answer that better because Rob can't say what Rob was when he was Rob, but I can because I remember hanging out with Colin McKay and going to Rob's house in San Diego, and Rob has my car now. 25 years ago, he had a turbo Porsche. I have just got one recently. And I remember going to his house and he had an apartment. He was the first person I'd ever met face to face who had assorted chains, iced out chains. This was a thing. So this is a time where he had it, nobody else had it. Every Mongolian has that now. What he had was all platinum and iced out. Every sponsor that he had, he'd made them all, and he had a turbo Porsche, and he had a Mercedes. And I remember, I'm from the outback. I didn't even know like S55 or I was just like, you got a Mercedes, and you got a Porsche with the big fin on the back, the big silver one.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wait, I mean, yeah, he's a really good fucking skateboarder, but what the fuck is going on here? And then Colin, it's a weird thing. Me being so far away from that and seeing how much money to me that looked like so
But
much
you know
money.
where I made all the money back then?
Because you designed other shoes for DC.
Yeah, I was like, that was the hustle. Like,
See, Colin, I had to interrogate him. I'm like, come on, dude. Okay, yeah, Alien Workshop. He has a fucking skateboard. Okay, so he's one of the coolest skateboarders in the world. Fuck you, he doesn't make that much money. You didn't know that he designs his shoes? I'm like, yeah, he designs his shoe. No, dude, he designs almost all the shoes on there. And I'm like, how the fuck did he do that? I don't know, dude. He's doing that.
I said to Ken, I said, man, let me go through the same process as the entire design team, but if mine get picked, then I get a royalty for every shoe.
How old were you when you presented him that deal?
Oh, God, I probably was 25 or 26. I don't know. And he was like, all right. So then I would go to the big presentation meetings, and I would come with like 27 boards. I taught myself Illustrator, taught like every last aspect, and I would come in and sell each one. And at one point, I had 30 shoes I was getting paid off of. And when Quicksilver came in and did the books, when they were going to buy it, they were like, what in the fuck is going on with this? Like, why is Rob Dyrdek getting paid off of every single one of these? It was like where they were like, this shit is dead. And that was right at the time that we were just starting to work on Robin Big, right? So as it had happened, I was just like, all right, fuck, they gave me a big payout when they sold it anyway. So, and I already knew that, like, I was like, that the gig was kind of up, because even the design guys were bummed, because they would pick mine and then they do all the work.
Because
right?
I can imagine, I've seen you in a meeting. You're like 10, and I know the other guys that design shoes for DC.
Like,
I was on DC. They're like, meh, on their little laptop, and he comes in with like a fucking cougar on a chain. We're gonna be fucking doing this, kid. Mind you, he's also great friends with the dude who owns the entire company.
Yeah.
These other guys like are lucky to say hello to him at a Christmas party. Man, Ken, I don't even know who you are. And then Rob's like, oh, this shoe would have got that shoe. Yeah. And then they get them all. I think that's fair. You fucking paid your dues. No disrespect to shoe designers, but skateboarders know more about skateboard shoes than shoe designers, in my opinion.
But
and you proved it.
Some of the biggest ones I did were like, I did these 2 random running shoes, like the Alias. That was like one of the biggest things I ever done. And the Pure, I did the Pure, was the Manteca 2 that went on to be their best-selling shoe of all time. Only I never got paid for that.
You designed the Manteca?
I did the Manteca 2, right?
Yeah.
So Ken did the first Manteca, and then the one that's the Pure and the Manteca now is I did the refresh from it.
And so you get the show, and Quicksilver buys DC, and Ken...
No, they did it before it, right? So they gave me a pretty big payout when they sold it. Then the show came right afterwards. But where I hustled them on the show initially was I asked for the simplest, like, Stan Smith style big logo on the side shoe and a 10% royalty, because I knew the same way I restructured my Alien deal to where I got like $5 a board, because I was just betting.
How do you get $5 a board?
Because I just restructured everything at that time.
Compared to, like, what's the standard?
Standard shoe royalty is 5%. Standard board is 2%, right? So I knew that, like, shit, if this TV stuff blows up, like, I'll go play for the royalty money, and then give me the super simple shoe, and then that thing just exploded. Then my boards exploded, so I made a ton of money off of that first season of Robin Big, and those products just exploded.
Does Quicksilver, like, want to, like, blow you? Or do those guys just want to buy Rob Dyrdek and fuck DC off completely?
No, I mean, I don't...
How much do they live for you?
I mean, I have a psychotic deal that we never made public.
It should be psychotic.
Yeah.
You're the only guy on there.
7-year deal.
A 7-year deal.
Yeah.
Wait, it's a new one.
Yeah.
Is that why on Instagram you show new shoes all the time? Just your shoe. Just a new shoe, another colorway of a shoe that you just...
Yeah.
Did you make that shoe?
Yeah, I did.
Right.
That one I did.
Check out this new shoe.
Well, yeah, because I didn't do it for now. Now it's like I'm so focused on growing the business, because I eat off of everything I sell on top of what I get as a base. Like, it's obnoxious. Negotiated it for 2 years. They didn't pay me for an entire year. So at the height of this insanity, like, I just said, oh, what? Like, what, you're not going to threaten me by not paying me? I didn't take a check for an entire year while we negotiated, and wore it on TV and did the whole thing. And then finally did, like the most psychotic deal ever.
I'm happy somebody won out of there, you know. I didn't even want it anyway. I'm glad you got it. you deserve to get it. Everybody else in there didn't skate. I know that probably sounds wrong to some people, but if you didn't do it, you shouldn't have most of the pie. That's just how I was.
It's the reality. If it's a public company, they're a global footwear business, you know, and it's like even how it evolved, you know. I feel like it's still very going through a crazy evolution with the new CEOs, like really restructuring the complete company. So it's just at the beginning of the stages of going to another level.
It looks way better now.
Yeah.
There was a time there when Ken first left where it looked like
Ken,
you gave it to a surf company and they just started doing what they do.
When Ken left, then they restructured the company and Nick Adcock left, right? Where he was like, he's the guy who took them originally from like 100 million to 500 million. And then they restructured the company and then he left. And then it didn't slow in sales. It's always been steady around 500 million. But that rapid growth stopped and then the product quality diminished over those years.
Look, people get motivated sometimes when they listen to this show because I did heroin with prostitutes and now I have a job and shit. This guy this is exactly how you do it. I did the best I could do with what I was given, which, I mean, I had to get through a lot of bumps in the road to get to where I am now, which is, what do I want to do? I want to be happy and I want to be successful. On what scale they all are these days, I'm actually considering how successful I would like to be and how much I would like to be in the limelight. All those things didn't matter at one point because I was just like, if I can stay alive till tomorrow, that'll be a fucking good plan. Now, things are evolving. But Rob, as a sensible man who is a go-getter, I feel like a lot of people listening are more sensible than I. So all you have to do, you're already on a bet. You're going to better start than me. I had to spend 15, 20 years trying to kill myself to get to a bit where I'm like, hey, I would like a job and friends and fucking, conversations with people that have brains. You can do it. You just have to be obsessed with it all day nonstop because you can tell it won't stop ever with you. Ever. To the point where there will never be a lucky love that will ever win the true heart of Rob Dyrdek because his heart is not available to you entirely. His heart is in his shoes. Someday. In the meantime, dime pieces, fucking don't hold your breath.
In the meantime, dime pieces, DM me on Instagram.
That's just good to know that people still. I thought I was the only creep that would do that. Thanks for being on the show again, dude. And we're gonna have Chris Cole. He doesn't know Chris Cole's gonna be doing stuff with Street League and the Jason Ellis Show because that's how I roll. I'm a backdoor guy, Rob.
I'm not.
We've discussed that.
We've learned one thing.
Jesus Christ, we'll be back.
Heck yeah, man. 3 interviews, man. I don't got time to do no other ones, man.
Hey, I appreciate it, dude, because
it was fun.
you'd be surprised how many people don't want to do any interview with me ever.
I feel like, and it's just pushing too into like the real zone as opposed to just talking about.
Yeah, what'd you do? An hour? 45 minutes is always a good time to get the fuck out.
I gotta